Yo, what's up everybody? Welcome back to Big Bike BMX. It's your boy Etnies BMX Craig here. Recently noticed that Isaac Irvine on the show was doing some bike checks of his bikes from his collection and thought, man, that actually sounds like a really cool idea. I know that I like watching bike checks. I know I like seeing what people have, what they're riding, what's in their garage or in their collections. So I guess what I want to do today for you guys is just show you some of the bikes in my collection that you may or may not have seen before, like the one behind me right here. Just to give you a sneak peek, to give you a bike check of what I got. And one of the other things I noticed is that Isaac and I have the same bikes, man. I mean, we literally own like 3 or 4 of the same bikes. So I won't be doing a bike check on the bikes that he's already done. So I'm gonna actually do some of the bikes that are in my garage that I don't ride a lot, and hope that you get stoked off of it. Hope you like seeing these. So let's start off with the first one, the one behind me. Let's get into it. Let's do a bike check. So the first bike that I have up on the rack for my bike check today is one that you guys have probably seen before. I've had this bike on Big Bike BMX. We did a build video on it. It is the Haro Team Master Freestyler Bashguard Series Zolatone finish 26-inch. So yeah, I had this bike up on the page, like I said, and it was actually built by one of my buddies out in Stockton. You may know him. His name is Damon Dayton. That's right, the Port City Willie guy, and SE Crew team rider built this bike for me. And I couldn't be more stoked about it. A cool story behind it is this bike actually came from John Bulchins, who is the brand manager for Haro. And John sent this bike to me from his own collection because this bike is actually the first serial number bike out of the 2020 series for the 26-inch Masters in this finish. So let's take a look at that finish real quick. And I should actually say in some type of disclaimer that John did not give me this bike for free. I actually bought this bike, but nonetheless, it came out of John's collection, which is super cool for him to do that. So let's get right into it. 26-inch frame, Haro Master. I'm going to zoom right up to the paint on this thing because that's really what stands out the most to me right out of the gate. If you can see, it's got like purple and gray specks all throughout the frame of the bike. Awesome details. All the decals are really cool as well. And yes, these are decals. Basically the decals, I think John told the story either to us or in his interview on our show, that these decals were reproduced and redrawn out for the Master from the earlier versions of this bike and put on here in like exact detail. So I love the details of it. I love these diagrams of the figures and stuff, and just the whole look of the bike. The purple fading into the black is really cool. And so you'll see that throughout the bike with the decals. So I'll take a little look here, give you guys a little peek on that, right around to the head tube. As you can see, the theme follows itself all the way around the bike. Super cool, super clean. That paint job just continues on. It's called Zolatone, so it's really dope. One of the things I like about this bike is just the quality. I mean, everything seems to be super quality on this bike. Starting with the Lineage hubs. Sealed bearing, it says right here. You'll notice the high flange hubs. Everything is super smooth. I really like these HPF 48s on here. The Haro rims, the wheel set, really clean, really cool lines. There's the front brake here. It says ombre. And those come up to, these lead up into a gyro. A POTS mod actually comes right up through this part of the fork. So I love that detail in there. Coming up to the gyro, this is the Haro Lineage CNC'd stem and gyro right here. POTS mod, all the cables, or the front cable going down the POTS mod of the stem, and then the gyro is taking care of the rear brakes. Really smooth action. Haro Lineage. And that allows these bars to spin forever. So yeah, it's super cool. Speaking of bars, I'm sure you guys noticed the Haro knee savers up top, powder coated black. Again, it's got the Haro decal and detail followed in there. Really nice, really clean. All the lines on this bike are super clean. Brake cables running out of the way underneath the double top tubes all the way down to the rear brake. And these are the 996s. See if I can get a better shot. Right in the back. Underneath mounted. Super grippy. It's what I like about these brakes a lot. For cable pull brakes, they are super strong, and they give you way enough. They give you a lot of braking power. So and you know what, one of the things that I've always liked with Haro bikes is the twin top tube. This one actually does not disappoint. This is such an incredible design. I love the double twin top tube up top. Just gives it a really clean, old school cordless grinder look. If you guys remember the cordless grinder ads from back in the day, that's what this bike was. Although that was a 20-inch version and this is a 26, it really is very close to that 20-inch design. One of the things that I love about the new Haro bikes, and my bike as well, is that Haro, you know, didn't like millimeter for millimeter, bolt for bolt, just cross over all the design elements. This is actually a modernized version of that old school bike in a 26-inch. So I thought that was really dope. I like that with all their Lineage bikes. You know, they got the look, the old school flair, the feel, but they're actually modernized. So you've got upgraded parts, you've got modern geometry, things that just keep it really smooth and cool, and bring it up to today's standards. Sorry if you guys are seeing my junky garage, but hey, that's just the way it goes. So working down from the fork, so if you notice, this has the fork standers. So these actually flip out. They don't lock, but they do bottom out right here. So if you stand on them, they're not going anywhere. Really strong Haro fork standers on here. I love it. Again, it's like the old school classic look. The old flip down fork standers, pretty high up on the fork, but they're still fun to play around on. I'm probably going to end up putting some pegs down here so I can do some front end tricks on the pegs. But dude, does that not look super cool on there or what? Stamped Haro right there. Really dope. Moving on. A lot of people trip out on this part. One thing I forgot to mention when I was telling you about this bike is it's a Bashguard. Well, what does that mean? Okay, check it out. Right here at the bottom, you'll notice that the frame actually is supporting this plastic piece on the bottom. And as you can see, it goes all the way around. That's the Bashguard. And I'll walk around to the other side, kind of give you another look at it from here. It's a little more viewable from this side because of the sprocket not in the way. And as you can see, this is good for for doing tricks where you're going to be grinding on the bottom of your bike or doing stalls or whatever, so you don't thrash the bottom of your sprocket or your frame. But what it does is it actually takes your bottom bracket, this section here, and it's raised up. So the bottom bracket is actually pretty high off the ground, if you want to look at it that way. And it provides a little bit more center of gravity to be lifted up, which some people say it makes it easier to do tricks with. So Haro's got the Fusion seat clamp on there, and everything here is really dialed in. Haro's line of parts is Lineage and Fusion, that comes factory built on the bike. None of this bike was, I haven't done anything to it. None of this is upgraded parts. So everything you see here is coming out of the box. What's cool about this Fusion seat right here is that if you look at the old school bike, the old the Bashguard Master 20-inch version of this seat right here was actually drilled out. These would have been holes, but Haro and their attention for detail and John's attention for detail, he wanted to capture that look. So they embossed or they countersunk these padded holes in here to actually mimic that old school look. And this is a pivotal seat from Haro, designed by Fusion or manufactured, made by Fusion. Heading down the bike, let's go to the other side, on the drive side here. You'll notice that, again, Haro's using the Fusion cranks. These are 175 millimeter, and they're holding a couple Fusion pedals, which I really like. That old school look of the platform pedal that Haro, again, just provides that attention to detail. Really solid pedals. Double pinch crank arms tied right into the Haro unidirectional disc or sprocket. Makes for a really smooth combination. Really strong, really smooth. I believe the gearing on this is 41 in the front and 17 or 18 in the back. So the bike is definitely easy to ride, really smooth to do tricks on. And actually, if you look here, see if I can find it. Yeah, I've already got some let me see if I can get it. A little bit of scuffage on that that brake, because yeah, I've had to dump the bike on some of the tricks that I've been doing on it. That's typical of me. Anyways, last thing I want to show you guys on here is more of those details I was telling you about. If you look right here, you'll notice that the Haro logo was actually probably like hydro cut into the rear dropouts. And I think that's so damn cool. I love small details like that. And it just adds to the flair of the bike, you know. It's got the integrated chain tensioner in here as well. So another detail that's really cool. So overall, man, this bike is, it's one of my favorites, not only because of what it is, as far as being a Haro. Like, I always wanted to own a Haro from when I was a kid, just never really had the chance or the resources financially to own one. But when a lot of kids in my neighborhood got a Haro Master, it was definitely a bike that I wanted, and now I've got one. So, and this is a really cool one to own. I love the 26-inch size. It's a little better, a little easier for me personally to ride, especially being a bigger guy and older. It's a little easier on the knees. It's a little easier on the joints to ride. But you know, I rode 20-inch bikes up until my 40s, mid 40s, and yeah, this was such a smooth transition to come into this bike for what I was looking for. So there we have it, the 2020 Haro Master Bashguard, 26-inch. Extremely awesome bike. So glad that I have a chance to be one of the owners of this incredible bike. So only, I'm gonna say only 500 of these were made. I could be wrong, but what I'm not wrong about is this is the first one in the series to be released, and it was from John's collection and stamped 001. So super stoked on that. Thank you again, John Bulchins, for your generosity and kindness and being able to let me have the opportunity to be an owner of this awesome bike. Hope you guys liked it. Stay tuned, I got more bikes to come. And Haro Master Bashguard Zolatone 26-inch. Peace.